block from Hollywood.
At 17 years old, I was one of those interns working out of his office, riding around in the Luke vans, getting people registered to vote.
So I look as Luke as the father of Miami. But Luke, I just want to say I love you and I appreciate you and I'm grateful for you. I'm happy for you. Be proud. Luke Campbell Way, Liberty City, Dade County, 305. Make some noise for Uncle Luke.
Everybody that's out here, they're out here because we all got something in common. And what we have in common is we help. We help kids like this. Gil Green helps and inspire. DJ Epps helps and inspire. Devontae Freedman helps and inspire. DJ Khaled helps tremendously inspire. My good friend Stan the Man over there helped. E-Class, who was here, helps and inspire. These guys do a lot of things that you all don't even know. I mean, teach, owns a restaurant, helps and inspire. I mean, that is what it's all about.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the Uncle Luke Show podcast, where we're brought to you by Luke Records and all the paraphernalia that you have for LukeRecords.com. Make sure y'all go over there and purchase some good gear on LukeRecords.com. And I want to thank you all for being on here. Thank you to everybody that's on Facebook, that's on TikTok, everybody that's on my other Facebook fan page, YouTube, Twitch, X, Twitter, Instagram. We're all over the place today. It's a beautiful day today, people. It is a beautiful freaking day today. And I want to thank you all for being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe the page right now. Just go and share it with everybody. Do it right now. Put some hearts up. Do whatever you got to do. Put some thumbs up. It's going to be a really big show today, man. We're going to be talking about Stephen A. Smith and his snubbing at the NABJ conference. We're going to also be talking about how we got gentrified, a little bit about Debbie Wasserman Schultz running in our race and my race, you know, because it's coming to a close. As you all know, tomorrow is voting, and we're going to be voting tomorrow. And I urge everybody in Broward County to go out and vote. Make sure y'all go vote for me. Vote for me. We're also going to be talking about a young lady who always did the uniforms of the Blue Angels, and for some reason, she got snubbed. I mean, so it's Snubbing Monday that's going on. But let's start off right here. I am so grateful and so happy about all the great people who came out to the polls. Man, we had a good time. We partied yesterday and throughout early voting, and all the people that did the mail-in ballots. I want to thank you guys. I want to really, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for being a part of this political process of me running for Congress. It was, you know, it took a lot for me to do that. It really took a lot for me to do that. Hey, shouts out to New Zealand. How y'all doing? It took a lot for me to do that. It took a lot for me to make the decision to go and run. You know, I did, which is a beautiful thing, because, you know, when you run in these races, you know, you have a tendency of you know, it's a lot of soul searching. Do you want to do this? Do you feel like you're capable and able? You know, do you want to put your family through this? Do you want to go to Washington and spend so much time there? Do you want to take a pay cut? Really? You know, and that pay cut is, you know, going, yeah, I know it's a lot of money, but going for $170,000 to going to $170,000 and putting everything in a trust, a blind trust, and doing all those things and just altering your life, you know, to serve the people, you know. And I've always been able to serve the people in so many different ways, and you know, to make this sacrifice to run for office, you know, it was grueling. I'm gonna tell you, you know, leading up to tomorrow, you know, I got so many media outlets calling me up. Hey, Luther, where are you gonna have the party at? You know, where's the campaign party going to end at? You know, I'm the type of person, right? I'm just weird. I always, I do the work, and then we get a platinum album. And then I'm the type of person that won't even celebrate it. Like, okay, we have platinum, we need to get another one. So while I'm in the moment of the actual work and doing the work, and grinding and creating and going from one thing to the next thing and saying, hey, look, man, we gotta win. We gotta, we're strategizing and we're doing so many different things to make sure that we're putting ourselves and putting our best foot forward to win the race. And I mean, man, that's what I like. I like the mass confusion. I like making the decisions on the spur of the moment. And when everything settles down, it'd be like, okay, it's all settled. And that's where we're at. We're to that point. I mean, tomorrow's election. What they say traditionally in this election here is the fact that, in these type of primaries, the election is normally called on the day of, last day of early voting. They said mail-in ballots and the early voting ballots are the ones who, determine who's the winner. And so if you did the early ballots and if you did all the necessary things of getting those early ballots to come in for your candidacy, you win, and so I beg to differ. I'm always a person who looks at things in a totally different way. I look at things from the standpoint of this is not a traditional, I'm not a traditional candidate. I'm different, and I think, I think people are going to show up and show out on election day. I think people are going to really, really show up when people don't think they're going to show up. I think people understand the urgency of this. When you see the excitement at the poll and people coming to the poll and taking pictures and hopping out of the car and they're saying, you got this. And the old ladies is like, yo, you got this. God is with you. God is with you. It gives you the reassurance that the message that you're giving out to the community, they're receiving the message, that I want to work for this district. I want to work for this community. I want to work for the people of Broward County. I want to work for African Americans and people of the United States of America, and be that change, be that difference person, be that difference maker. And they understand that is what I want to do. And so you see the passion of the people when they're there and they're talking and they're speaking to you, and they're driving up in their car, whether it's Tamarack, whether it's Pompano Beach, whether it's Deerfield, and all the beautiful places that I went through in this district. And you see people so motivated and so excited, it just reminds you that, when having these conversations with God and God sending me in this direction to run for this office, it means a lot. And I always say we've already won. We've already won. What I'm saying? We've won the hearts and minds of so many people because they received the message and they understand the issues at hand. No matter how many forces that they put against us and how many people that did not support this campaign when we thought they were going to support it. We thought the Congressional Black Caucus was going to support this campaign and denounce DSW from running in this race, and they didn't. We learned something out of that. We really learned something out of that. We learned that the Black Caucus, as we see it right now, is not really the Black Caucus that we're used to. We're used to the Black Caucus standing 10 toes down for the betterment of African Americans and the African American people. That is the whole point of the Black Caucus. And we saw in this instance, they did not do anything. They stood down. They stood down to PAC money, in my opinion. They stood down to somebody that they feel like there's a colleague of theirs. They allowed her. Nobody told them to have her run into another district. They did not stand firm on this lady running this office. But at the end of the day, with all that said and done, that is what we learned. We learned this body of the Congressional Black Caucus is not the body of the Black people. They can go dance and jigaboo and shake their ass in September at the little Black Caucus event and they ask black artists to come perform for them and pay them, which I tell any black artist, any and all black artists, you need to take a time out from them. Don't go take that money. Do something else that weekend. Don't take that money. Don't take Congressional Black Caucus money that weekend and don't go shaking your ass and entertaining them, because it ain't nothing to be entertaining them for. They are, in my opinion, the worst kind of African Americans that you can find in this country right now today, because they don't stand on principles. I mean, Hakeem Jeffrey, horrible. You name it, any member of the Congressional Black Caucus, horrible, absolutely horrible. They represent the worst kind of African American people, and all of them need to lose their job. All of them. Because when God put you in a position to say you serve, everybody always saying, and this, what we get from the street, everybody always saying, man, I'm with you, when I'm with you. But when you find out whether they're true friends or they're true allies, or they're true people in your life, when you face adversity, it's all good when we all kumbaya and we go lucky and we got all the money and we can go buy all the bottles and all this. We can have all the models and all this, and we can party like rock stars and all that. But when you face adversity, when you're in that alley and you get ready to fight against the opposition, do you cut and run? Do you leave? That's what the Congressional Black Caucus did in this race. Yet and still, they went in 24 right down the street, and 24 members endorsed Kendrick Meek, which the dad is my friend. I don't know the young man, in a crowded race of African-American men, which that race they should have stayed out of. If there was any race they should have stayed out of, that was the race they should have stayed out of. But they endorsed Meeks, which I have no problem with that. But when you look at where they stand at, they stand on no principle. They stand on who the PAC money directs them to support. They direct the PAC money. When AIPAC tells the Black Congressional Caucus what to do, the Black Congressional Caucus do it. Simple as that. I didn't take no AIPAC money. I didn't take no special interest group money, because I wanted to come in this thing, when I win this thing, to come in pure with no special interest group money, so I could really serve the people of Congressional District 20 and the people of this country. Because when you come in with their special interest group money, it's tainted. And that's why I urge everybody, man, this election is so important, man. It's so important. And I really thought the early voting numbers would be skyrocketed higher. They were okay. We got some increase with women, but the forces are against us. It's the elites versus the real people. And that's where we're at. And everybody that you see in the Congressional Black Caucus is elite. They're part of the elites. They are the people that are controlled by AIPAC, in my opinion. AIPAC is a Jewish organization that support Israel interests. Am I mad at AIPAC for buying some niggas? No. They got to do what they got to do for their country. They got to do what they got to do for their people. I respect AIPAC to the fullest, because they have to do what they have to do to secure their people. Why we don't take that same approach as African Americans? We don't. Absolutely not. We sit up here and allow ourselves to be purchased. And that's only because of us as well, people. A large part of that is us. Because we don't put money in our campaign, in our candidates' campaign. We'll sit here right now and struggle going to the poll to vote. Meanwhile, we have 300 100,000 African Americans with voters registration cards, and only 8% is going to show up to the poll. And they know who that 8% is. They know how to galvanize that 8%. They know we're going to get these, we're going to pay off the community activists, we're going to pay off the ballot harvesters, we're going to pay off the pastors, they know exactly how to get that 8% of African Americans to then go and vote in this direction. They know that the other 92% don't give a shit. They know that. They know the other 92%, they care more about getting ready to go to the next high school football game. They know the 92% getting ready to buy them a ticket to go to Chris Brown and fill up a whole arena, him and Usher, which I love it to death. They know that they worry about hopping on social media, getting on there, looking for some clicks. They know they're ready to go to the park and cake for their team and everything like that and all that. They know that our interest is not the interest of us. When the fuck are we gonna wake up? Because they sitting there saying, hey man, we already know how to buy a black election. Oh, we gonna get some bougie niggas. Oh, we gonna go get some bougie pastors. We are going to get this 8%. They know exactly how to operate and get the 8%. So when the fuck is the 92% gonna get into their mind that, look, man, this is our shit? This is the time. In my election, the time is right now. Because I am that candidate who's sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm the candidate who's upset. I'm the candidate who's mad. I'm just like you. I don't like how this shit is going. Period. I don't like how none of it is going. So I sit here today and I say, okay, hey, Luke, get your ass off the internet, get your ass off social media, get off the podcast and go out there and do something about it because you know the issues. Why don't you go do something about it? So I get into this race and I'm going and I'm fighting and all this. People know I'm sitting up here today saying, should I buy some more commercials on the radio? Should I buy some more of this? Should I buy some more of this to get the word out? The fucking word is out. Everybody know I'm running for Congress. There's nothing else I could do. I'm on the Breakfast Club, I'm on CNN, I'm on NBC, I'm on CBS, I'm on the radio, I'm everywhere. I'm on social media. Everybody know I'm running, but the point is, are you going to do something about it? Are you going to sit on your ass and don't do something about it? And when you sit on your ass and allow these people to gentrify your community and determine the direction of you and your family, you got nothing to complain about. Because you had a real black man stood up in the paint and say, fuck it, I will come out of my house, I will lose money, I will make the sacrifice, I will put my family through this bullshit to go and serve you in the United States Congress. And all you got to do is get up and go like you going to a damn Vibe Cartel concert, or a Cardi B concert, or a Beyonce concert. Get your ass up and go, and it don't cost you a dime. And vote. That's how we should be motivated and getting our ass up. Because other than that, the elites are going to continue controlling the African American community. We are separated, whether you believe it or not. Elites and regular black people. Elites here, those are the ones who are in Washington, and those are the ones who got $1 million house. They look down on other black people. I got a fucking $1 million house. But I'm hood. I come from the hood. I look at the hood as I have to save my people. I ain't right if I ain't saving lives in the hood that I came from. I ain't one of them bougie ass niggas who then all of a sudden get some money and all of a sudden I'm better than the people in the hood. No, I reach down and I pull and I bring up my people, because at one point I was that guy living in a 2-bedroom house with 7 people living in it, eating bologna sandwiches and damn spice ham and thinking I'm eating fish, but it was the shit in the can and all that there. Come on, man. with the roaches and the rats and shit riding around the motherfucking house. Soon as you cut the lights on, I was that guy. And every one of them bougie Negroes was that guy too. But then again, there was a lot of them that parents were doctors and lawyers. But it's up to us. It is totally up to us. What the fuck are we gonna do about it? They know we ain't gonna vote. This lady and any other person, this lady and anybody else in this race they can't wear my fucking jock strap when it comes to the work that I've done in my community and the people that I've served. I'm running against, in my opinion, career crooks that want to continue crooking the system. I'm running against our own people. I go to the poll, I'm out there, the poll, I was in Plantation. And I tell you, I'm in all the different areas around Broward County I'm going to. Love and Deerfield, Love and Pompano, Love and Sistrunk, Love over here. I'm that fucking Pompano, that Plantation. And it reminded me something. And I'm looking at the black people coming up to the poll because I'm also focused on the black people. And I'm saying to myself, what they would call this place Plantation? Why would you even move to some place called Plantation? A reminder. But then I'm looking at the black folk, how they walking. Hello, how you doing? I'm Luther Campbell running for Congress. That's the only place I experienced that at. And I'm not gonna say all the Plantation is fucked up like that, but I'm looking at these people. I got to the point where I can identify the elite blacks who look down on people like myself and others and will vote for the white woman because they think white is right. They think if they're doing anything associated with African Americans who support the neighborhood and us, that is the wrong thing to do. People, y'all don't understand how deep this shit is. This shit is deeper than fish grease. I'm telling you, it is deeper than rap. It's deeper than rap. They look at this as 100 people right here. We can control their vote. We can control their vote through the pastors. We can control their vote through some members of the Divine Nine. We can control their vote through the elites. And then we have the African American community, which is the mass majority, which I call the silent majority. They ain't gonna go, they look at them and say, they're not gonna vote. They're not gonna go and vote. Their interest is not voting. Their interest is not voting for their own kind, for their survival. Their interest is more of getting on social media, doing a post. Their interest is more of getting on a yacht. Their interest, their mindset is so far off politics that this should don't even resonate with them. Soon as they hear vote, oh shit, it's like the plague. It's like going to a haunted house. It's like going to the poll. The poll is like a haunted house to the mass majority of us. That's a chain that has to be broken. It's like, okay, we ride. They say go vote. Oh shit, that's a haunted house. I ain't going there. Jason up in that bitch. Where voting is the very thing that saves the community, that gives you a better job, that gives your kid a better life, that puts you in that house. When it's time to build affordable housing, when they move you and say, yeah, we're going to bring you back because we're going to rebuild the apartment building through the affordable housing program, and we're going to bring you back and you're going to have a place to stay. We're going to get you some good high-paying job. Fuck all that $15 job, the living wage. Yeah, because we want that. I want a better life. I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck. We want those things, but we don't realize that those things come through the political process. Those people that are on these islands in these $5 million houses, most of these $5 million houses, people are getting their money through the United States government. Ain't no Fortune 500 companies around here. How many Fortune 500 companies that's generating that kind of revenue. Every Fortune 500 company is getting most of its money, include Elon Musk, through the federal government, through subsidies, to continue making them billionaires. We get constantly used. And even the bougie elite brothers and sisters don't even realize they're getting used, because we want to sit on there and talk about why are we doing all this crime, and why are we so hood, and why are we so this, and why are we so ratchet, and all these things, but they don't understand that they're part of the problem. When you complain about the black community as a black elite person riding around your Range Rover with your golf shirt on, coming from the golf course, you got all these complaints about the black community. What did you do? What did you do when you went and voted for the white woman? Because I just want to vote for the white woman. She fits my standards. What did you do? You paid a part of society and the destruction of the African American community. You got so much to say about it. I was looking at some posts today. Some dude sitting up in there with his hat on, his golf shirt and his Range Rover, talking about, we got to stop this ratchet shit. All this ratchet shit, we got to do better. And the brother on there, he's like, yeah, the ratchet shit has got to stop and all this. But nobody has no solution. They don't even know how we got here. How the fuck did we get here? Because you, Mr. Elite, who votes 100%, you vote for the wrong interests of the people. You stop it by creating good, high-paying jobs, which is what Luther Campbell proposed. You stop it by better education. So you can sit in your Range Rover with your shirt on and your hat coming from the golf course, but you have no solutions. What are the solutions? You're voting and you're supporting the worst interests of the people. How you stop it? So most of these elites will probably got tricked into voting for the colonizer. But we're going to win. I feel real good about this. I feel real good about it because you know what? We've already won. Why we already won? Luke, why do you say we won already? Because we've exposed the deficiencies within the Democratic Party. We've exposed the Congressional Black Caucus, and we know they don't represent Black people. We know that. If anything happened in this race tomorrow, it's over with. We know that we need to do a better job in voting. We know that this Black Caucus body is bought and paid for by AIPAC, in my opinion, and they do not serve Black people. We know that they have an agenda, and that agenda is not sending Black heterosexual men to Washington. Yeah, I said it. That agenda is not that. I don't fit the mold. So that's why they fight. And they're praying to God right now that the little white woman who they refuse to denounce win, because a real Black man is coming to Washington. A real Black man is coming to Washington, just as sure as y'all take y'all ass out there and go vote. And that real Black man is coming to bring resources back to his Black community. That's what I'm going to go do. I was doing an interview earlier today. The lady was like, so, what will you tell the people? I did the job already. My resume, I'm overqualified. Are you qualified to be? Yes, I'm overqualified. The people I'm running against in this race, white Congress lady, what did she do? What has she fucking done to make her more qualified to me? Has she sent anybody to college? Has she put in blood, sweat, and tears working with youth and getting in cars and riding down the highway and helping them? Has she started a mentorship program that's been around for 35 years, a youth program where through my youth programs, I got doctors, lawyers, I have NFL, NBA, politicians that came through my program? Has she ever did that? Has she ever went and fought for $16 million to renovate an entire park, build a senior citizen center, build a youth gymnasium, classrooms and shit? Has she ever built a stadium in a blighted area? $3.5 million from Adidas. Has she ever went, or any of these individuals, not only this lady, but any of these individuals have ever brought a $50 million deal to uniform all kids in Miami-Dade County with a partnership through Adidas? Has she ever did that? Have you thought about that? Have they ever rebuilt another park with $26 million in Overtown? Has any of these people ever did that? Have any of these people? So when people ask me, what makes you more qualified than them? Tell me something that they've done. I'll wait. Small business owner, started a business. What came out of my small business? Pitbull, Trick Daddy, H-Town, Poison Clan, Angie Griffith. The list goes on. That's my small business. Has any one of them owned a small business? Has Deborah Wasserman Schultz ever owned a small business? She left University of Florida, went straight into politics. Never had a job. So if you never had a job, you never owned a small business, how can you work for small business owners? How can you come from a district where you represented people with $5 million houses, and all of a sudden now you coming into a district where people are living from paycheck to paycheck and saying, oh, I'm a friend of the community. No, you're a friend of the fucking elites. And I'm saying to my real black people, you cannot sit the fuck out in this election. You got to be running down there to the poll like you're going to a Cardi B concert, like you're going to a Bob Cartel concert, like you're going to Chris Brown and Usher. These people putting 20 and 30,000 people in the arena, and all it takes is 20,000 of us to go to the damn poll where it's 300,000 black people in Congressional District 20 with a voter's registration card. That's all you got to do. Don't look over here and don't look to the right, don't look to the left. Look at yourself and say, I am taking my ass down there and I'm calling up some people on the way. I'm texting some people on the way. I'm putting on social media. I'm going to the poll. Y'all need to meet me there. The shit open from 7 to 7 p.m. I'm going to do something about it. It's like me. I cannot sit back and look at the climate of this country and the shit that's coming out of Washington. I cannot sit back and say, oh, Luke, you're not going to do this. Fuck that. I can go get on the yacht with the rest of them. I can go on tour with the rest of them. I canceled the 29-city tour to run for Congress. People think I'm crazy. 29-city tour to run for Congress because I want to do the work for my community. Because I've always put my family first and my community second. Before me, all that shit go before me. And all I'm asking, we got less than 8% of black people in the district voting and early voting. We got so much shit to do. But yet still, all the high school games are filled up to capacity. People swinging on the chandeliers. All the free concerts filled up. We got our priorities fucked up. But yet and still, we'll be the same ones to sit here and complain. What I'm going to tell you like this, I'm putting my best foot forward. I'm making the sacrifice. If the people don't make the sacrifice, then so be it. You will never be able to say Luther Campbell did not try and help. Luther Campbell, who's done all of this for the culture for his community did not want to come and help. Because Luther Campbell the next day will be on an airplane flying somewhere to LA to cut another deal for Luther Campbell and his family. But Luther Campbell preferred to be flying on a fucking airplane to Washington, D.C. to do something for your family. But you were too busy to go out and vote. You made every excuse in the world. It should be 145,000 people that are in this district running out there to vote. I will be mad if it ain't 145,000, because in this congressional district, it is 145,000 African Americans eligible to vote, that all they need to do is take their ID to the poll and vote. I will be pissed off if they don't. If all of them don't go. If it's 140, I'm still mad. Because people should know the seriousness of this. You're getting gentrified. You're getting pushed out of your community. You live 3 miles away from the ocean. These people have already started the gentrification projects. You gonna sit there and fuck around and find out? You got a candidate that you know is a fighter, that you know have built shit, that you know gonna go up there and be like, no, I'm putting my people first. It's up to y'all. The alphas. Alphas sitting at the fucking table with this lady. Oh, we were just at the restaurant already and she came and took a picture with us. Really? Really? The head of the Alpha organization, whoever that person is, the president of all alphas, need to be calling down to Broward County, chastising them Negroes, going in on them, saying, what are you doing? When every Black organization in the community has denounced this woman, you sitting there breaking bread early in the morning at a Black establishment, using the Alpha name and brand to publicize genocide? What the fuck are we doing? That's what we have. America? This is what they want.
Voters to win their trust. It's not even the biggest lie of her career. Her old district got wiped out in redistricting. Her home is now in a Republican-leaning seat. So instead, she jumped into Florida's 20th in Broward and Palm Beach counties, a district held by a Black representative for decades. The Broward County Democratic Black Caucus told her not to run there before she even announced. She ran anyway. Then her campaign website claimed she'd been endorsed by that same Black caucus, plus a major LGBTQ group and the...
Come on. I can do this all day. I can do this all day with this lady. The alphas, that do me, that blew me, that really, really blew me. You're sitting there. I can understand these pastors, which I still can't understand. These pastors are known for selling their soul. Not all pastors. Not all pastors. Some of them sell their soul, which is why I say we've won already, because this election has exposed the deficiencies within this district, in this community. And that's how it is around the world. These Democrats don't want new people to vote. Just imagine if I can control the mindset of 100 people, and if I add 200 people, new people, I don't know which direction they're going to go. I can't control them. So I prefer really focusing on the 100 that I can control. So when people say, oh, we want more people to vote, we want more people to get out and vote, they really don't want that. Because if the silent majority get off their ass, which is what I'm asking them to do, and go and vote, we take over the shit. We now get the resources for our kids. We get the resources for our community. When we get the resources for housing, we get the high-paying jobs. Everybody running around here caping off some damn $15 living wage job. That's for the kids. My plan is creating high-paying jobs. When I got Pitbull off the street and Trick Daddy from out of prison, you think I told them I'm finna, oh yeah, we're gonna do some records and then, y'all gonna make a couple dollars in, The only money that you're gonna make is money that you're gonna make on the road. No. I said, you're going to come here, you're going to own your masters, and you're going to be businessmen because I'm going to teach you. It's going to be hard. You're going to go through the Luke School of Hard Knocks, but it's going to be difficult, and I'm going to tell you how this shit really works because I want y'all to be entrepreneurs. When anybody ever worked for me, whether it was Big Teacher who owned House of Mac, or Jeff Sanchez, Julian, or you name it, I say you will not retire here at Luke Records under no circumstances, boss. This ain't the place to retire. I don't want you working for me forever. What I want you to do is learn how to be an entrepreneur and own your own shit. And every one of them people own their own shit. They're working for big, major Fortune 500 companies. Every one of the people who work for me own their own shit. Which one of these candidates have done that? The experienced ones. And people talk about experience. Experience is doing what? Explain this to me, people. Explain this to me, chat. We're live right now. Explain to me what the fuck does insurance mean? I know I should be used, but I'm passionate about this. Explain to me what experience is. If you come to me and you say, hey, look, Mr. Campbell, I'm experienced in marketing. And then I do an interview. I look at your background and I do a background check. Number one, for you to get in the room, I do a background check and I look at your experience and you then we do an interview. You tell me why you're experienced and why you're capable of doing this job, but you're going to tell me why you lost your last job. Or if you're still on that last job, why you want to move over here? Because I'm already thinking that you're not loyal. So why you want to move out of this district into this district? Follow me. Why you want to go over there to that company? You can help that company out and help all of us in the entire country. But you don't want to go over in that country. You want to go over in this district. So I'm asking you these questions. Now I get to qualifications. Why did you get fired from the last job? Why you lost your seat, Dale? Why did you get expelled, Sheila? Am I going to hire somebody who lost their seat or lost to the person who got expelled, who got 25 counts, being convicted on 25 counts and facing a federal indictment? Why the fuck are you even in this election? And the person who you beat by 70%, why are you in this election? You were the mayor and she just beat you. Why is the white lady in the election when she could be over there doing something for the party and winning over there in 22? But why are you over here? What's the point? But then the three of them combined total of 65 years of being in office, 65 years. So now we go down to what the fuck have you done in 65 years? And I say nothing. So when we talk about qualifications and who's qualified, at some point, you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. They say, what is the sign of insanity is when you keep doing the same thing over and over again and looking for a different result. You keep electing these people, looking for a different result. Because the people are coming in here talking to you about the same shit they talk to you about when they went and got the job. Affordable housing. We need affordable housing. Well, we've been needing affordable housing for over 30 years now. Medicare, Medicaid, they're fighting to take it away. SNAP benefits. Before it was SNAP, it was EBT. Before it was EBT, it was food stamps. And before it was food stamps, it was welfare. So you're sitting here telling me about welfare, EBT, SNAP benefits, and all this shit, and Medicare and Medicaid being taken away from kids, and lack of education, lack of resources coming back to the African-American community, affordable housing, when you're gentrifying our neighborhoods through affordable housing because you're taking the federal government houses and you say you're building these houses for the community, where you're displacing the community, putting them in damn near concentration camps. Talk to me. And so you're coming here. These people are coming here telling these bougie ass Negroes and telling all the people who are sitting down off their ass, this is what we're going to do. And they've been telling you this forever. So when are we going to get off SNAP benefits? When? When are we going to get off SNAP benefits? When are we going to be able to say that me, as an elected official, here's the list of multimillionaires I created in my district? Not one of them could say that, because they put no blood, sweat into the community. I say to all politicians, if you could show me how many millionaires that you've created in your district are creating high-paying jobs for the young people who live, who born and raised in that district. Half of Black people right now living in South Florida, whether it's Brown County or Miami, to get a great opportunity. They go off to college, they come back, they can't get a job because they don't speak Spanish. They don't look white. They're not Jewish. They're not Italian. So they got to leave and go to Chicago and Atlanta for better opportunities in Washington, D.C. That's what we're doing. So the bourgeoisies who support these type of people, I say to them, you're not supporting your best interest, because your daughter got to leave this motherfucker. She can't even go get a job. That's where we're at, people. That's where we're at. It's very, very sad place where we're at. We vote against our best interests. We want better. I'm going around this community, a lady telling me, I gotta buy food. I don't even have health care. I got a toothache. I'm trying to get I gotta make a decision. I gotta feed the boys. I'm out here at football practice. I got little girls. I didn't go to college. I want to own my own decorating company. I want another little girl. I want to be a beautician. I want to own my own company. And the mom was saying, I don't want to work paycheck to paycheck. The housing that I live in, I go to the senior homes, and the senior citizens talking about, I got to take another job at Publix, bagging groceries because of the high cost of insurance, the taxes going up, the medicine is high. They're cutting back on my benefits. The homeowner's insurance, the apartment insurance is up. But yet and still, these people, these elected officials with all this experience, come into your house and say that they want to continue serving you. Meanwhile, you're suffering in that capacity. Meanwhile, people continue voting these people in. Oh, she got all experience. He got all experience. Experience in doing what? Fucking you? And I'm not going to say, excuse my French, because we all grown on here. That is the experience that they have. And that is what people keep voting for. So it ain't them. So when you go back to this application to work for me, because it's the application, I put in my application to work for people in Congressional District 20 and the people of the United States of America. And my application says, these are the amount of people, these are small businesses I own, these are the jobs that I've had, this is the experience of building in my community that I have. Put my application up against their application and their resume. Talk to me. Lord help you if you already had this job and we're living in poverty right now. We're getting gentrified right now, and our kids are still killing each other right now. And we're still fighting over SNAP benefits right now in welfare, and the cost of living is going up because you got us in a war? Because you got us in a war? I'm running against a person who supports the war, who literally have the cost of living up, who have the cost of living, who have to go gas prices up, who voted for regime change, which means go in there with the military and take these people out and let's get on in the war. Now, mind you, when those people of Iran attack those people of Israel who've been fighting with them forever, yes, they're and kidnap those people. Yes, we have to support our allies in that manner, but we're spending trillions of dollars in all kind of other wars. These people have voted for regime change. I'm running against a career politician who voted against reparation. Where's the reparationists? All the FBAs. Where's your $5 in Luther Campbell campaign? We're the ones who run on my Facebook page and my Instagram page and my Twitter page. Some of FBAs, tethers, but you have no name for her because she voted against reparation. Meanwhile, I support reparation for Foundation of Black Americans. This is the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Are we that lost as a people? Hey, we're going to win. We've already won because we've exposed the deficiencies within the community. I'm just saying. Meanwhile, let's get to the show. Stephen A. Smith. My God, check this out.
Used to be a time we'd see somebody like you singing, clowning, yassabossin', and we wouldn't do anything. Folks like that. You were good.
Or editorial independence, reinforces damaging portrayals of Black people, or compromises the public service mission of journalism. This year, we have chosen to highlight 5 recipients to reflect the breadth of harmful action. Brendan Carr, Chair of the Federal Communications Commission. Since assuming leadership of the FCC, Carr has repeatedly used the agency's regulatory authority in ways that have raised serious concerns about press freedom and editorial independence. CBS. Under its current leadership, CBS eliminated its race and culture unit and implemented newsroom workforce reductions that disproportionately affected journalists of color. The company has also faced sustained internal disputes over editorial independence and newsroom decision-making. DeJuan McCoy, owner, president, and CEO, Circle City Broadcasting, parent company of Wish TV. McCoy's leadership has been the subject of multiple allegations regarding the treatment of Black journalists. Stephen A. Smith, sports analyst and political commentator. Smith has established a representation of Black women in public discourse and stands in direct conflict with NABJ's long-standing commitment to accurate, responsible, and inclusive portrayals of Black communities. The Washington Post. The Washington Post implemented layoffs and newsroom restructuring that disproportionately affected Black and other journalists of color.
So to everyone whose name was called tonight, hear this award for what I believe it should be. Not simply a thumbs down, but a call to do better. The door is open. The conversation is available and the opportunity to change is real. But NABJ will not be silent. Not in this moment and not on my watch.
Wow. I don't know how to feel about that, which I disagree a lot with Stephen A. Smith. I'm sorry, people on TikTok. I know you all didn't get to see that. It was a montage of the NABJ snubbing Stephen A. Smith and putting him on this list with CBS and other people who they feel like are not great for the culture. I've disagreed many times with Stephen A. Smith on many different occasions. I did a show interview with him. I even have a little more insight. You know, I have a problem with him. I'm sorry. I have a problem with him talking about Joy Reid and Jamel Hill, Kerry Champion. I thought that went all wrong. Because here's the crazy part about it. When I went off on Stephen A. Smith, I went off on him a couple of times. And we had conversations about it after I went off. I went off on him when I thought he did something wrong. And it was Jamel Hill who came to me and said, Luke, Stephen A. Smith is a good person. Stephen A. Smith helped so many African Americans at ESPN get ahead. She called me and like, yo, chill. He a good dude. You don't understand. This dude has helped and supported so many people, so many African Americans to get ahead in ESPN because I called him everything but the child of God. I'm like, man, what you doing? Da 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 da. I probably would have one of the first ones you go check my tweets. And she checked me, which I respect Jamel Hill to the highest. Jamel Hill, Joy Reid, Kerry Champion, I think those are some of the most brilliant women that I've ever met in my life. I'm talking about walking encyclopedias, know they shit. And so these are the smartest people that you could ever be around. And they know they shit and they can flip it both ways. They can deal with the streets, they can deal with the hood, they can deal with the elites, they can deal with, she checked me. So to see them fighting and going back and forth and all that, it was like very disturbing. And I fought myself because I should have called Jamel Hill up and said, Jamel, you the one called me and told me to stand down and took me off the man. Now, what the hell is going on? But I understand. But under no circumstance do we supposed to disrespect one another. We don't supposed to do that. We're fighting each other when we're supposed to be fighting the very people. What the NABJ did to him, I don't think that was cute. I really don't. We're so quick to fight each other, but we are not quick to fight Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Did the NABJ either stand up or stand down against her? Trying to erase an African-American seat that's been held for 30 years? Where was the NABJ in that instance? Only person came out and had the conversation about it was Joy Reid. I ain't seen no tweets from Roland Martin. I ain't seen no shows from Roland Martin. And I love Roland Martin to death. That's my guy. That's my brother. I don't think I seen nothing from Jamel Hill and Kerry Champion. I don't think I seen nothing from any NABJ. And this is the biggest travesty against our people in all times. Where did they jump on Hakeem's Jeffrey? But we're going after Stephen A. Smith. They have every right to do that. But I think before you go after the young fella, you just bring him in the room and have a conversation with him. Because he is a black journalist, that ain't going to change. It's not going to change. Yes, you went after CBS and the Wall Street and Washington Post and all those folks. Do you do that every year? If you do that every year, why hasn't it gained the attention like this when you came after the black man? Am I defending Stephen A. Smith? No, because he should not be fighting with them sisters. I got a problem with that. These are women that was his colleagues. But for this organization to take this stance, where are you in this congressional race? Where are you when it's time to take a stance on any African-American man or woman who stands against the betterment of African-American people? But are you protecting your pockets too? Are you worried about your pockets too? Are you worried about your pockets? Are you worried about the advertising dollars that you're not getting, or the opportunities that you're not getting? See, you got to follow the money. Half of them, if they come out against DSW, who's running my race, then they might lose some APAC money too. Because they won't be advertising or giving them the interviews. Do they want to be on that list? Moving right along.
South Florida, Miami, and Broward, they took over one of the main industries in South Florida, and that's the education system. I used to work for Miami-Dade County Public Schools, the school district, and exactly what you said is what happened. They took over. Let me tell you the play they ran. I was there I worked there in high school, but then I also worked there after high school. So this was like 07, 08, 09. They would come in as janitors. When they came in, they recommended their family members, their friends for other positions within the district. They used that pay and full-time benefits to put their children through school, put their kids through college, and then when their kids got out of college, nepotism. They used their connections to get their kids to become teachers, resource officers, secretaries, and now they are assistant principals, school board members. They are in high-level positions. They are politicians. And listen, that's the play they ran. When I tell you they ran it, I'm talking they're in the cafeteria. They're in all the high-level positions. I'm sorry, no one could ever make me dislike the Hispanic community, because one thing about it, they're going to stick together and they're smart.
The play. She said the very words again. Look, I can't fault these people. They understand the play. They understand what they needed to do, and they understand how they need to do it, and they just implemented it, and they did it. Meanwhile, we were here doing the janitor work, but we had an understanding that we need to send our kids to college. And when we sent our kids to college, they didn't want to, they came back and we didn't make sure that they got the good high-paying jobs. Yes, we were the teachers, but we didn't advance all the way up the ladder to become the people to run these departments and run these school systems. And then when they got tired of that, then they created a voucher system and started opening up their own schools. And before you know it, we still got it up behind. Now we have to beg to get into those charter schools, which we shouldn't be in those charter schools, because the public schools are so horrible, because the charter schools are feeding the kids and giving the kids money, and they have some great facilities and great things going on when the public school don't have anything going on. So talk to me. So the sister is right. That happened in Dade and Broward County. Now they're closing up schools in the black neighborhood because they're taking those schools away. They're taking the very schools away out of the black community. And you know what they're doing? Hello? They're taking those schools away and they're selling it to the developers. They're giving the schools away to the freaking developers to do what? So-called build affordable housing? No way. Workforce housing for our teachers and shit, because they can't afford. The average income in South Florida is $100,000 to live here. I'm sorry. And the average income is almost 60 per household. Per household, you need to be making, single person in the household, you need to be making over $100,000. For two people in the house, you need to be making over $120,000. So everybody here in South Florida is upside down. Meanwhile, You want to continue doing the same old thing over and over and not being sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm just saying, we're worried about the wrong thing. Let me pause for a commercial.
Uncle Luke Campbell, and I'm running to be your next United States Congressman. It's no secret I was born and raised in Miami-Dade County, but for the last 15 years, I proudly call Broward County my home. People ask me about my experience. I tell them one thing: look at my receipts. Receipt number one: I'm the only candidate in this race who fought all the way to the United States Supreme Court for free speech and won. When I believe in something, I don't back down. I don't quit. I'll take that same fight to the United States Congress for Broward County. Receipt number two: I'm a builder. As co-founder and president of Liberty City Optimists, I've spent over 35 years mentoring thousands and helping hundreds earn college scholarships. I helped secure $26 million to rebuild Gibson Park, $16 million to rebuild Hadley Park, more than $3.5 million for Miami Edison Stadium, and helped create a $50 million partnership between Adidas and Miami-Dade County Public Schools. My name isn't on streets, parks, and stadiums for nothing. It's there because I deliver results. Receipt number three: I create jobs. I started Luke Records, making it one of America's most successful independent record labels. Helped launch the careers of artists like Pitbull, Trick Daddy, H-Town, and many, many more. If Congress can find billions of dollars to invest around the world, then Congress can find billions of dollars to invest right here at home. I fight to bring up the $6.7 billion in federal investment and bring it right home to Broward County. $5 billion will go toward expanding Port Everglades. $1 billion of those dollars will go toward my Built by Us, For Us affordable housing program. $250 million for my seniors. $250 million for my entertainment tax credit. $150 million for my apprentice, trade, tech schools for kids. $100 million to help small businesses grow. This race comes down to one question: who do you want fighting for you in Washington? Look at my receipts. I'm that guy. I'll bring resources back to Broward County. I'm Uncle Luke Campbell, and I approve this message.
So that's my commercial. Make sure y'all go vote tomorrow. Early voting starts early tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's when the polls close. I talked to y'all earlier about how toxic this race is and how serious this race is, right? And this is what's going on right now today. These are the things that are being sent out in the community. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is and why that's on there. But I'm looking for this right here. Why is that? Hey, y'all bear with me. I'm trying to get it together. I'm the producer today. I am the producer today. And the producer is not doing a good job. Look at that right there. That's the alphas. That's the picture of the alphas. That is the picture of the alphas sitting there at the restaurant with the colonizer. That's them. That is them. Blow it up. The Divine Nine, one of the members of the Divine Nine, sitting there with the white lady at the restaurant. And I saw them. They had a Divine Nine event of sold to the polls that the Divine Nine and the NAACP sponsored yesterday. And the white lady didn't show up. So the alphas had to walk past me. Luke, we want you to know. And one of my campaign ladies, former Commissioner Gloria, say, no, we ain't talking about it. No, hell no, you can't talk. No, Luke, don't talk to them. And I'm a kind person. The alpha dude was trying to explain to me, Luke, what happened. What had happened was we were already there And she didn't buy us no food, and Gloria was like, no, hell no. Because I talked to this person and that person, and y'all orchestrated that breakfast, and y'all went into that breakfast, and y'all sat in there with her. Look at this. This is what's going on. There you go. That's them. Alpha's up front and center. Look at this. A whole list of sellouts. They got a whole list of them. These are the people that this Debbie lady put on. She did a flyer with all the Black people who support her on there. Look at the list. This is what's going out into the community. The community is highly upset. I love it. We already won. They ain't playing. This ain't orchestrated or manufactured by me. This is the community. Look what they put. Look what the community of Broward County is saying to all of these sellout Negroes. Why is Alonzo Mourning on here? He should be on here too. Is Alonzo Mourning on there? Because the list is not complete if he's not on there. Where's Alonzo Mourning? They got Miss Dennis Brown right up there in the corner. They got Mr. Brooks. Got him up there, Mayor Scott Brooks. He ain't Black. Scott Brooks, Scotty Brooks, Dr. Sheila, Chamberlain, Kenny Davis. Kenny, you on there, Kenny? You got Davinia on there. Oh, we know Judge Holmes. Judge Holmes is the driving Miss Daisy, the Black lady who in the front car. Judge Holmes, that's Judge Holmes. Judge Holmes was the first one to drive Miss Daisy all through it. Annie, Falco. I think that's the lady who the head of the teachers union. I think that's her. All these people, they got them on the list. Look at that. Lloyd Holmes. Where's Chevron Daddy? Chevron, who's running for Congress in 24. His daddy on here. He got to be on here somewhere. It's Chevron Daddy. He support that shit. Oh, look at that. Clarice Williams. Oh, Clarice. Look at that. Look at Michael Putney. I expected that. They ain't playing. Broward County is not playing. We just got to take the same energy to the polls. They got the sellouts on here. Chat, do you see this? Chat, do you see this? That's what's running through the community right now. A picture of the sellouts and the picture of the spoon, there it is. We're in spoon, flanked by Black men of the alphas. Thank God my brother is Sigma. My son go to college, you will not be out. Oh my God, this is so serious. Meanwhile,
never, ever thought that Mind Blues would treat me like this. Not in a million years.
For 43 years, a Black-owned shop called The Sewing Machine made every flight suit the Blue Angels ever wore. Owner Candy Whitehurst sewed thousands of uniforms, kept exclusive licensing rights, held the patterns, and was the only manufacturer approved under the Navy's own Aviation Safety Manual. Every year, someone called her, Miss Candy, put your bid in. This year's silence. No call, no notice, nothing. She found out the same way the rest of us did. The Navy had quietly awarded a new contract to a company in Virginia, run by a white man 900 miles from the flight line she's worked beside for over 4 decades. And let's talk about the money. Candy Whitehurst's last contract was $127,000 for 1 year of work. The new contract company is $1.69 million for 5 years. Break that down and it's over $338,000 a year, more than 2.5 times what Candy was making for the exact same job she was already doing at exclusive sole source status. Same suits, same patterns, some of which she still holds the rights to. Same Blue Angels, different name on the check. And suddenly the number multiplies. The Navy held an industry day to find a new manufacturer. They didn't invite her. She's local. She's black. She's literally outside the front gate. And still she was the last to know that her own business was over. This is what happens when loyalty runs one direction. A black woman builds a relationship with the United States Navy for 43 years, becomes the exclusive keeper of the patterns, the fabric, the fit of the national symbol, and gets paid a fraction of what a white man walks in and gets on day one. A congresswoman is writing letters now asking the Navy to make it right. But the pattern is the pattern. Watch what gets rewarded. Watch who gets remembered. And watch how fast the price tag changes when it's not a black woman's name on the contract.
I'm just saying. And y'all talking about sitting down, not going out there to the polls. How many examples are we gonna have? How many examples are we gonna have for you sitting up here waiting for that white person to save you? How many examples are we gonna have? Really? I'm just saying. Check this out.
Farms didn't want their name in the news, and why the federal government was so quick to say, oh, it was an accident, it was a false positive. Look here, folks, slave labor. They've got a Department of Corrections contract in Arizona where they're paying inmates $1.25 an hour. But guess what? The Department of Corrections in Arizona, they're getting $4.75 per person per hour. Folks, you can't make this shit up. This is slave labor. If you've never been in jail, you have no idea what I'm about to tell you. You will do anything to get out of that place.
You see where we're at? You see where we're at? The Department of Corrections, Arizona, paying people $1 and something an hour. They're getting $4 something an hour. It's all by design. Put black people in jail and put them back in the fields. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my show. I'm going to continue on TikTok. Y'all just hold on. Don't go nowhere. But I want to thank you all. Thank everybody for being here. Tomorrow is the election. I need y'all to go to the polls 7 a.m. If you don't live here in Florida, if you don't live in my congressional district, call somebody that lives in my congressional district and urge them to go out and vote. And don't fucking just tell them. You got to tell them, look, go to vote. The polls open from 7 to 7. There's no reason why you can't go into your precinct and cast your ballot. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all. I love you all. I want to thank you for joining the show. I will be back on tomorrow after the victory. We're going to have a victory party tomorrow. Victory party. Pray for me. Pray for me. At the end of the day, let me just say this. Whatever happens is God will. I'm a believer of God. God controls everything. God controls it all. So if God elects me to serve, if he sends people out to the polls to vote, then so be it. I'll serve in the capacity of a elected congressman. If God decides that it is not the time, then, hey, look, I'm okay with that. Business moves on. It is all up to God. He makes the decisions, but I'm going to say this to you all. He makes the decision, but he put good people before you. And you got to put your foot forward to help yourself. And I'm here, people, to help you guys in every capacity I can. Me, my family, I'm lending my resources to go into the United States Congress to fight for at least 5 or 6 years because I'm not trying to be there too long. The young man, Elijah, I already told him, when I win, I'm going to take him with me because I think he's probably one of the most purest young people that just needs a little more good guidance, I will take him to hopefully groom him up, get him ready to go to replace me, because I won't be doing that forever. I'm just going to straighten out some things and protect the people of Broward County, the seniors, the kids, the small businesses owners, stop the gentrification, bring the necessary resources that Broward County so desperately deserve, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I hope and pray that you take it upon yourself to go to the polls tomorrow and elect me to be your next United States Congressman. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my show. And like Walter Cronkite always say, may the good news be yours. Peace. I love you. Have a good day. Hey, my guy, the guy from Broward County, Ben Crump, what you got to say about this?
The next great congressman from the state of Florida, and his name will be Luther Campbell.
I'm Civil Rights Attorney Ben Crump, often referred to as Black America's Attorney General. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, went to high school at South Plantation High School. My dad still lives in Parkway. We want to make sure we have a strong advocate from our community who understands our culture to go fight for us in the United States Congress. So make sure you go vote for Uncle Luke Campbell for Congress on August 18th.